Good morning, everyone. Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered today on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional home of Alexander First Nation, the Alex Nokita Sioux Nation, the Enoch Cree Nation, the Whitefish Lake First Nation, and the Paul First Nations. This land also has deep importance to the Métis people of Alberta for Region 3. It is my pleasure to be the MC for this event today. I'd like to acknowledge the special guests here today for all of what they do for our local constituency. Minister of Tourism and Sports, Joseph Scow, and I will tell you that when it comes to the important people that we're seeing within our constituency, it is something that it is important to show that they are here to represent us. Mayor Nicholas Wurstick, the Mayor of Glendon, also home of Alberta's largest pierogi. We have Josh Crick speaking for the MD of Bonnyville. We have Kayla Blanchette, the Town of Bonnyville Councillor. We also have Mayor Copeland from the City of Cold Lake also being here available to answer questions. Now, for myself, I'll tell you that I am very thankful for giving this opportunity, but I'd like to kick today's announcement off to invite the Minister of Tourism and Sports, Joseph Scow, to the podium to say a few words. Minister.
Well, thank you for that warm introduction, Scott. I appreciate that, and it's very great to be with you all this morning. And I'm pleased to be joined by so many fantastic municipal leaders, as MLA Sear had just mentioned. Now, it is my pleasure to announce that 4 municipalities have been selected as co-hosts for the upcoming 2026 Alberta Winter Games. Those municipalities are the MD of Bonnyville, City of Cold Lake, the Town of Bonnyville, and the Village of Glendon. I'm confident that these communities will create an unforgettable experience for our province's young athletes, an experience that will empower them and to help them thrive both on and off the field of play. Alberta has an excellent track record of hosting major national, international, and multi-sport events across the province. And a lot of the athletes who compete in these events got their start at the Alberta Winter Games. We are proud as a government to pledge our unwavering support by contributing an $820,000 operating grant to ensure the successful hosting of these games. This commitment underscores our dedication to developing sport and promoting ways to keep Albertans healthy and active. We know that sport, physical activity, and recreation are not just about competition or leisure. They're about creating happier, healthier, and more connected communities. By investing in these activities, we invest in our health, we invest in our communities, we invest in our economy, and in our future. I am very confident that these municipalities will put on a games worthy of the Alberta athletes who will be competing there. I know that this will be an unforgettable experience for the athletes, and I'm so grateful that these municipalities have stepped forward to host these games. And I look forward to attending them in 2026 and hearing all about their plans to have these games and make them a memorable experience. Thank you.
Okay. You can see there's a little bit of a size difference between myself and the minister. I would like to say that the fact that our MD of Bonnyville has graciously offered to host this is one of those things that we all can take pride in. Now, Reeve Kalinsky unfortunately wasn't able to be here today, but I will say Councillor Crick is here to bring greetings and really expand on the importance of the Winter Games being announced for 2026 for our local area. Councillor Crick, would you mind coming up here? Councillor Crick, thank you.
Okay. The MD of Bonnyville is excited to be part of the Alberta 2026 Winter Games. This has come about due to a very real collaboration between the four municipalities that Mr. Scow alluded to earlier: the MD of Bonnyville, the City of Cold Lake, the Town of Bonnyville, and the Village of Glendon. We are excited to showcase our region that the northeast corner of Alberta is bountiful, beautiful, and extremely productive. Our hill, Kinisou Ridge, will very adequately support any downhill skiing races, as well as the chalet with the incredible views of some of the best views actually in the northeast part of Alberta. Our wealth in the northeast does not only come from the oil and gas sector, but more importantly from all the great people that live in the region. These people will volunteer their time and their resources at the games, and they will be lasting memories for all the athletes and the guests for years to come. We thank the province and Minister Scow for awarding these games to our region, and we will put our best foot forward. Of course, the MD of Bonnyville would also like to thank the Regional Sports Tourism Committee for all their hard work to get us to this point. Thank you, and God bless Alberta.
Thank you for that, Councillor Crick. It was well spoken. I look forward to seeing each and everything happen with the MD of Bonnyville, as well as the other three participating municipalities within my region. I'd like to invite Mayor Copeland. Mayor Copeland's been a long mayor within our region, and I will tell you that from my understanding is the last time we had the Winter Games up in our area was 2010. So that was 16 years ago. It's good to see it's back again. And I believe that Mayor Copeland was the mayor back then too. So to show the fact that he's been around this is round two for him. It's great to see how much commitment we have in our area. And I'll tell you, I look forward to seeing what Mayor Copeland and the rest of Cold Lake Council can do for our local community and for this tournament. Thank you.
Well, Josh did a great job. I just want to, on behalf of City of Cold Lake and the quad municipalities that are behind this initiative, I want to thank the minister for selecting Cold Lake and the staff from his ministry, reaching out. They've been great to work with. Our area had the games back in 2010, and you know, we're kind of hidden up in the northeast, but I can tell you that our recreation facilities that we have in the area are going to be top notch. Something that, you know, rural Alberta, what we try to do is we want to have people want to live and stay in our communities. And we have some of the best facilities out there. Kinisou Ridge Ski Hill is going to be a great opportunity, but also the ice facilities that we have and all the different gymnasiums. We've already had a lot of cooperation from all the school divisions, are looking forward to be involved. But I think I just want to acknowledge that the province has really stepped up here and increased the funding. And for small municipalities, this is so important. And I want to thank the province for bringing in such a large number to help us, you know, offset the costs of hosting games. So I want to make sure that that's recognized. But we really look forward to the games. We're going to go up to Grand Prairie and see the games this week. But we really look forward to the 2026 games and showcase what we have to offer in our region. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Copeland. We've had two of our municipalities give contributions to this, but we can't forget the town of Bonnyville. And I'll tell you that when it comes to the fact that Mayor Elisa unfortunately couldn't be here today, I know that she is here in heart, and she did send one of her best counselors to be able to represent the community during this time. We also have the Mayor of Glendon also here participating. Mayor Wistek is, I'll tell you, very passionate about his small community. And I'll tell you that when it comes down to it, this is a remarkable opportunity for all of us because we're going to see tourism in ways that we haven't seen in a lot of years. Now, I'm looking forward to welcoming the thousands of athletes, coaches, and visitors from across the province to the MD of Bonnyville, the City of Cold Lake, the Town of Bonnyville, and the Village of Glendon for the 2026 Alberta Winter Games. Hosting these games is a major opportunity for our area as veteran host communities. I know that we will provide a memorable experience for everyone involved. I'd like to pass it on to Kevin Lee, who is done a remarkable job here organizing this for the wonderful event coming forward and this announcement. When I'll tell you that when we first came in, unfortunately, we had some poor weather going forward on last Monday, so we couldn't do an announcement. And to put this together so quickly as the press secretary is something that I myself have to show that our staff just works so hard and diligently for this province. So, Kevin, would you mind doing some question and answers with the reporters here?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sear. So thank you all for coming today. We're now going to open up for questions from the media, starting with those who are here in person. So please state your name, outlet, and keep it to one question, one follow-up.
Yes, Ryan Hunt with Windspeaker Radio Network. This might be a question for the mayor. I was just wondering what the impact this will be with your community and how excited you are to be hosting these games.
Sure.
Well, I mean, you look at your hotels, your restaurants. So our area, Bonnyville, Glendon, Cold Lake, hockey tournaments, soccer tournaments, everything. So when you have a couple thousand athletes coming into your community, they get housed at the schools, which is kind of cool. But all the parents are going to be following them around, so I expect all the hotels in Cold Lake, Bonnyville will be all packed. So from an economic driver, probably looking at a couple $100,000 probably coming into the community, which if you haven't been up to our hotels right now in Cold Lake, this will be welcome news. So the oil patch hasn't really been booming too much in our area, so it's going to be a great relief.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what kind of preparations will be taking place between now and when the games take place in 2026?
Well, we got to hopefully get some weather that'll make some snow. But, we've got lots of confidence. Kinnison Ridge has a great snowmaking machine. But, what's kind of neat about this games versus the 2010 is there's been a dramatic change in Bonnyville and Cold Lake and out at Kinnison Ridge on the facilities, and Glendon has also improved their hockey rink. So I think our facilities are going to be in good standing for the games. I'm not too worried about our inability to host them. I think we're going to do a great job.
All right, thank you.
Great. Seeing no other questions in the room, we're going to go to the phones. Operator, can you please put through the first caller?
First question comes from Carrie Tate, the Globe and Mail.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. It's for the Minister. Minister, I'm wondering, as the Minister of Sport, how you're preparing for potential challenges to Alberta's recently announced policy on transgender people and identities when it comes to federal funding for sport or applying to host events, whether they're across Canada or international events, and potential human rights challenges.
Sorry, that last part of the question, I couldn't hear you very well. If you could speak a little louder, that'd be great.
Sorry, I'm just wondering how you're preparing for potential challenges to Alberta's transgender policy when it comes to federal funding for sport or being awarded events, whether international or Canadian, and potential human rights challenges on the sporting part for athletes.
Well, thank you for the question, Carrie. I'm not really going to speculate too much on what could or couldn't happen. What I will say is, as everyone heard the Premier's announcement just the other day, it's really important for us to find a balance, especially in sports here in Alberta, between fairness, safety, and inclusion. And as a Minister of Tourism and Sport, this is really important to me. I understand exactly what the values and the lessons that one can learn playing sports, having done it all my life and taken those lessons into my professional career, both as an athlete and as a Legislative Assembly member. And so balancing that is going to be something we're going to work with all the provincial sport organizations to make sure we're honoring the spirit of this policy and the implementation of it. And we should have policy and a plan going forward in the fall.
I do have a follow-up on that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm not, you said you're not going to speculate on what could happen. I'm just curious, as the Minister for Sport, are you not preparing for potential challenges or potential battles over funding for sports, that type of thing? That seems like that's sort of core to your job as a minister, is to prepare.
Sure. My job for the minister is to prepare for whatever we can foresee in the future. But what I'm seeing right now is a conversation is happening around safety, sport, and inclusion in Alberta. And I think it's a really important one to have. I've had parents, I've had educators, I've had coaches, stakeholders reach out to me even before I became the Minister of Sport about the importance of sport and activity of women in sports in the province. And I'm grateful for the Premier for beginning this conversation. And I look forward to working with the provincial sport organizations, as each of them has a very unique relationship with the government on how to implement this policy. That is really the path forward. And so I think it's an important conversation to have. It needs to be handled delicately with sensitivity, understanding that safety, fairness, and equality and inclusion in sport are all vital to the success of future athletes. And these are the exact kind of athletes, we expect to be competing at the Alberta Winter Games in 2026. And I'm grateful for the municipalities who have stepped up to go out to host these games. I know it's going to be such an incredible experience for these athletes, and one that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives.
Right. Operator, can you please put through the next caller?
There are no other questions in the queue at this time.
Right. That concludes today's press conference. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much.